Okay, so in this binomial expansion, here's the formula. It'll be given to you on the formula sheet. You should be comfortable with it. So first thing is I'm going to take this second term and I'm going to rewrite it as negative 1/2 times x to the negative 1. When I'm doing this, I really don't want any x's in the denominator of a fraction. They've given us the first three terms, so I don't need to figure out everything. I just need to figure out these last three terms. So what I'm going to do is just fill in the first term and the second term for each one of these. And then what I'm going to do is, you'll see the 5 choose 3. Well, the 3 goes on the outside, then you have to add up to 5, so that's going to be a 2. I do that for each one of those. And then all I've got to do now is figure out each one of these terms. So I'm going to use my calculator, and I'm not going to write a bunch of stuff down. So this is going to be 5 choose 3 times 2 to the second times 1/2, or negative 1/2 to the third. And so then when I get that, I get a negative 5. And then the x's will be x squared times x to the negative 3. Well, you add the exponents, so that's going to end up being x to the negative 1. And then I do the next one, and again, this kid got the calculator, I'm just going to go back and switch it, so now it's going to be 5 choose 4. And it's not going to be 2 to the second, it's going to be 2 to the first power, or just 2. And then the negative 1/2 won't be to the third, it'll be to the fourth. And so then I get my new, and that's 5/8. That's the coefficient of the second to last term. And then the x's will be x to the first times x to the negative fourth, or x to the negative third. And then my last term, well, these first two parts are just going to be a 1. So this is really just negative 1/2 x to the negative 1 to the fifth. Negative 1/2 to the fifth is going to be negative 1 over 32. And then x times negative 1 to the fifth, that's negative fifth. And see, my last three terms are going to be negative 5x to the negative 1, 5/8x minus to the negative third, and then negative 1 over 32 x to the negative fifth. You could rewrite it like this with putting the x's back in the denominators, but I don't recommend it, and it's not necessary. You can just leave it like the way we've got it in the first part. Anyway, now they give us the second part. They want us to multiply this expansion times 1 plus 4x squared. So I'm going to rewrite this expansion given the terms I just figured out and the ones they gave me in the beginning of the problem. And what I'm looking for is the coefficient of x. And so I'm not going to multiply everything. I'm just looking for things that multiply to end up being x. 1 times 20x does equal an x. So 4x squared times 32x to the fifth, no. 40x to the third, 20x, no. But 4x squared times negative 5x to the negative 1, those exponents will add up to get an x. So that's going to end up being negative 22x. And so when I add those together, I'm going to get a coefficient of 0. There actually wouldn't be a term here with just an x. And so then that's the answer. The coefficient is 0. All right, I hope that helped. Thanks for watching.